All right, week 4 of the NFL season is officially over, and now we're on to week 5. Last week I went 11-4-1 in my picks. Almost 12-4, but not quite there. The ones I got wrong, I picked the Vikings over the Steelers, the Chargers over the Giants, the Panthers over the Patriots, the Ravens over the Chiefs, and obviously the Packers and the Cowboys tied. That is why there's a 1 at the end. All right, and the teams on a bye this week, unlucky, week 5 bye. That is crazy unlucky, but Packers, Bears, Steelers, Falcons on a bye this week. They don't have a game. All right, and the first one to start us off, we have 49ers at Rams on Thursday Night Football. Brock Purdy's back, which I didn't even know was a thing, but the Niners are still like the most injured team ever. Apparently, I literally just read before doing this that Ricky Pearsall and Purdy are both going to be questionable. And the Rams... Did they lose? Oh, no, they lost to the Eagles. That wasn't last week. I forget who they played last week. I'm not going to lie. But all I know is that they're a better team than the Niners right now. And they're going to be at home. So I'm going to pick the Rams to beat the Niners at home on Thursday Night Football. Next up, we have another international game. The Vikings going back-to-back weeks. I think this week they're going to have a lot better luck. We have Vikings at Browns. The Vikings lost to the Steelers. Didn't watch that game, to be honest with you. But the one I did watch was Lions versus Browns last week. Joe Flacco stinks, okay? Now, do I think the Vikings are going to struggle against the Browns defense? I do, especially with a backup quarterback, or even J.J. McCarthy for that matter. But in my opinion, the Browns are so terrible on offense that it won't matter, and I'm picking the Vikings to win a sad game, like a 10-9 type of game. I just think Flacco is washed, okay? But I would love for him to beat the Vikings, but I don't think he's going to. All right, now to some normalcy in the United States at 1 p.m., the first game. Cowboys at Jets. The Jets are 0-4. It feels like they shouldn't be, though, but I think they're going to go 0-5. The Cowboys, can you imagine what they would be with a defense? Okay, can you imagine? They would be incredible. Dude, Dak Prescott, I hate to glaze. If their team was good, he would be an MVP frontrunner. That dude is insane. So I'm picking the Cowboys to beat the Jets. Both teams have a terrible defense, but in my opinion, the Cowboys have a better defense and a better offense, so I think they're going to win. Next up, Giants at Saints. The Giants shocked the world, beating the undefeated Chargers with Jackson Dart starting his first game, and now they go on the road to face a worse team than the Chargers, so I'm going with the Giants again. I think old Spencer Rattler is going to struggle against their defense, specifically that D-line, of course, and old Jackson Dart's got to find some magic once again, but I think he will. Going with the Giants. Next up, Raiders at Colts. The Raiders lost to the Bears. They stink, and I know they stink. And the Colts also lost. Oh, they played the Rams. That's what. But look, the Colts are legit, okay? They hang in there. Might have won if stinking A.D. Mitchell didn't drop a touchdown. But yeah, I think they should have a pretty easy win over the Raiders here at home. They're definitely the better team. The Raiders are just terrible. I don't know. Like, there's just some organizations that are cursed. That might be one of them. I feel like their roster isn't even that bad, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, next up, Dolphins at Panthers. What a game here. Tyreek Hill. Golly, that injury was rough. And the Panthers, every week I pick them, they lose. So, Panthers fans, not great news for you this week, because I'm picking the Panthers to beat the Dolphins at home. This is literally all I'm thinking. Like, I think the Dolphins' offense is better than the Panthers' offense. Their defense is terrible, and the Panthers seemingly kind of have a defense. I can't really tell, but I don't know. I just think the Panthers have an advantage, especially with Tyreek Hill gone. I think they should win, but every week I pick them to win, they don't. So watch them lose this game now. But yeah, picking the Panthers. Next up, Broncos at Eagles. The Eagles are one of 2 undefeated teams left in the league, I'm pretty sure. I don't know that for certain. And they beat the Buccaneers a little convincingly. It could have been more convincing, but I still have some good faith in them. And the Broncos beat up on the Bengals a little bit. I think the Eagles are going to win here. This might end up being another low-scoring one. I think the Broncos' offense has struggled a little bit, and kind of same with the Eagles. Doesn't help that the Broncos have a great defense. If the Broncos win, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think they will. I think the Eagles will beat them at home. Next up, Texans at Ravens, and both these teams, golly, are you guys letting down the universe right now. The Texans have like a terrible offense, and the Ravens have a terrible defense. I don't know what is up with the Ravens. Zach Orr is a terrible defensive coordinator, though. That's all I know. He just panics all the time. So this one was actually very difficult for me. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens win, but I'm actually picking the Texans to beat the Ravens away on the road. And if this does happen, the Ravens will be 1-4. Which would be insane. But as of right now, I think they're going to be. I'm picking the Texans to win. I don't know. Their defense is going to have to win this game. I guess that would be the justification, but both these teams are pretty stinky. And speaking of stinky, we have Titans at Cardinals. The Titans can't score points against the Texans, conveniently, and the Cardinals played like poo the entire game until the fourth quarter. With all that being said, though, I think they will get a win against the Titans here. Titans are probably the worst team in the league. Maybe them or the Browns, I would say, are the worst team in the league right now. And the Cardinals actually kind of have a defense. If Marvin Harrison Jr. can catch a ball before, like the last 10 minutes of the game, that'd be great. But even if he can't, again, I think the Cardinals should win against the Titans. Next up, probably, is it bold to say this is the best game of the week? We have Buccaneers at Seahawks. Both these teams are they're pretty solid. Seahawks defense looks pretty good. Buccaneers defense, haven't really watched them enough to know, but this game is a really tough one to me. But I'm going with the Seahawks for a few reasons. Number one, I think their defense is a little better. And number two, injuries on the Buccaneers side, I feel like kind of weighs it on the side of the Seahawks. Buccaneers are missing some O-linemen. Mike Evans, someone else is hurt, I forget. Please remind me down below if you remember, but I don't know. I just have more faith in the Seahawks, and they're at home. That place is pretty tough to play on the road, so I'm going to pick the Seahawks to beat the Bucs. But this one is probably going to be a pretty close one. All right, next up, my team goes on the road. Lions at Bengals. The Lions last week beat the Browns. However, we lost both of our starting corners. Thank God it is not for the whole year. Injuries just suck. You know what I mean? They really do. I completely forgot Malik Neighbors got hurt too. That one, God, why do injuries happen? It's just so lame. And speaking of injuries, the Bengals don't have Joe Burrow, so that sucks. However, look, no game in the NFL is an easy one, and I don't think this game will be, I don't know. I don't think any game is really easy to win, like I just said. I fear that some Lions fans are going to just write off the Bengals, but we are down both starting corners against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Okay, that's going to be pretty rough for us. However, gotta pick them. Been picking the Lions every week because they're my team, so I'm picking them again to beat the Bengals on the road. Really hope they do. Really hope just everyone in the universe can get healthy ASAP. That would be great for humanity. All right, next up, Commanders at Chargers. I think this one would be a banger if Jaden Daniels wasn't hurt, but, the Mariota-led Commanders hasn't been exactly great. In my view, backup quarterbacks on good teams can beat bad teams and not good teams. And in my opinion, the Chargers are a pretty good team. So I'm picking them to beat the Commanders. They have a better defense. Justin Herbert's been playing decently solid so far, and the Commanders definitely don't have as good of a defense as the Giants do. So, I'm going to pick the Chargers to win. If Jaden Daniels plays, which I don't even know what his status is, but if he plays, could see a different result, but I think the Chargers should win at home. All right, now Sunday Night Football, we have an absolute steaming stinker. We have Patriots at Bills. The Patriots are that weird mid-team that gets smoked by other good teams. They're not even a good team. That's kind of a stretch. Seemingly, though, the Patriots get absolutely dog-rolled by good teams, but then absolutely roll bad teams. You get what I'm trying to say? And unfortunately for them, they are on the road against probably the best team in the league, in my opinion, in the Bills. The Bills are still undefeated, and I think that's going to continue. I'm picking them to win at home against the Patriots. When was the last time the Patriots beat the Bills? I'm trying to think. It might have been that Joe Milton game last year, huh? Maybe besides that, it's probably been a while, but still, I think the Bills should win this game. All right, Monday Night Football, we have kind of a sneaky good one. I don't really know which direction this would go in. We have Chiefs at Jaguars. The Chiefs are hard to read. I can't tell if they're good or if they've just played bad teams, because they're technically, aren't they 2-2? I think they're 2-2, but they beat the Giants with Russell Wilson, and they beat the Ravens, who are just a dumpster fire right now. So, I don't know, I think this game will be a good judgment, because the Jaguars have been pretty decent, Mainly their defense, though. Their offense has not been great. I hate Brian Thomas Jr. with all my might. This guy sucks. But they've been getting carried by their defense, which I don't know if it'll be enough to win them this game. But I still picked the Jaguars to beat the Chiefs here. I don't know. They're right now a better team, I think. So I'm picking them to beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. And there you go. Those are my Week 5 picks. Let me know what you agree with, disagree with. If I left any information out that is crucial, let me know. And I've been pretty consistent so far. 12-4. Besides the first week, I've gone 12-4, 12-4, 11-4-1. There's a couple people on bye weeks now. Let me go 12-0 or something. You know what I mean? Let me get a perfect week one of these weeks. That'd be great.